favorite time, tournament time on the vlog. Today is day 1B of the Run It Up Reno main event. $600 buy-in, $150,000 guaranteed in this event. We're starting with 25,000 in chips. I already have an interesting hand to share with you because we're actually on the first break right now. All these tables are 8-handed, which is fantastic. I think all poker tables should be maxed out at 8-handed. I think that's all the how all the events are run here at Run It Up. So nice and comfortable, but we're actually playing 7-handed. So this hand is coming from level 3, I think. The blinds are 100 and 200 with a 25 ante. And I looked down an ace-king offsuit from under the gun, raised it up to 500. The under the gun +1 and +2 players make the call, and the big blind puts in a 3-bet. She makes it 2,200. I think we're somewhere around 15 or 16,000 effective, and I think it's a little bit too deep to just stack off here with ace king. Happy to play post flop here, so I make the call, and the player on my left calls as well. So 3 ways to a flop, which comes ace, queen, 7, rainbow. Big blind checks it, and I decided to check back because I don't think I'm gonna get 3 streets here versus a worse hand. Try to pot control a little bit, maybe if there's an ace queen out there. I don't think, like I said, I don't think I'm getting 3 streets anyway. So I check it, and the player behind me checks back. Turns the jack of hearts, which is the second heart. This time the big blind bets 6K. Not really loving it, not really hating it. Can't fold here. Obviously could be losing to ace queen, ace jack, pocket queens, pocket jacks, pocket aces. Probably beating some other ace X hands that put in the squeeze from the big blind. So not looking to fold here with top pair, top kicker plus straight draw. I call, player on my left folds. River's an offsuit 8. This time the big blind jams all in. It's about 11K or so, something like that. And just one of those spots, not loving it, not hating it. And don't think I have too much choice. Under at my hand on the flop, under at my hand a little bit pre-flop. Probably expect to lose here some decent percentage of the time, but a little bit too strong to fold here. So I shrug, call it off, and my opponent shows us pocket kings. So we win this hand. That's a pretty good result for a hand in level 3. We eliminate that player and some early chips, early stack here in the tournament. Off we go. Time to try and run it up. Pun intended. Let's go play a tournament.
Let's go, Andrew.
You gonna do this, Kevin Mark?
Yo, this is my first appearance on the vlog. What's up, everybody? Let's go, man. How did the cash game go last night?
Good.
Nice.
What's the win? Do you have any tournament tips for me?
Well, I'm on bullet 4, so go next door for some tips, buddy.
Okay, I'll do that. Good luck.
Thanks, brother.
All right, guys, second break of the day here. Things going pretty well so far. Off to a good start. Hand of the what do you call it? Last couple levels. Hand of the session. I don't know. Interesting one though. Blinds are 200, 400 with 75 ante. Looking down at Jack 8 of spades from under the gun, and it's a little bit loose, but happy to play, happy to mix it up, and not just gonna fold my way through these fields, that's for sure. So happy to get in there with a suited gapper, and I make it 1K to go. The button and the small blind call. So 3 ways to a flop, which comes 9, 7, 3 with 2 spades. Small blind checks. Happy to put out a c-bet here. I bet 1,600. The button puts in a raise. She makes it 3,300 to go. The small blind folds. I think she's got about 16K behind or something like that. Pretty interesting spot, interesting decision to be made here. I don't want to just check call and have the turn come a brick and then have to decide what to do there on the turn, because check calling with jack high on the turn doesn't seem like that great of an option. And her having 16K behind, it's a bit of a sizable jam, but do people really want to go broke this early in the tournament? I think putting maximum pressure on a hand, maybe hopefully a 1-pair hand, seems like the best route to go. Even if they have to have a set there, I still have pretty decent equity. I'm not dead. Flush draw, straight draw, still doing okay versus a set. So I decided to jam, stick it all in there, and she goes into the tank. Thinks for a long time, but then decides on a fold. So we take that one down with jack high, and that's a pretty good result. Jack high there. And shortly after that, found kings in early position, and the same player put in a 3-bet. I go ahead and jam it enough to cover her, and she's sick of it. She makes the call with pocket nines, and we hold that one. So things going pretty smoothly so far. Not sure how many chips, but over 100 big blinds still. Hopefully we can keep it that way for as long as possible, since this cash game player does best with those, you know, deeper stacks. All right, back to it. We're not at the Bellagio anymore, are we? They don't let us use those things over there.
Holy shit.
Greetings. Greetings, everyone.
That is, look at that. Needs no intro, but
I gotta go play a poker
right
hand.
Here? Holy shit, I gotta.
All right, guys, need to get you caught up. It's a couple of breaks later. We are now past the dinner break and on to the next break. It's been a roller coaster. Things were going swimmingly. I was up to a pretty damn healthy stack. One pretty cool hand that went down. Need to fill you guys in on before the dinner break. We're playing 400, 800 with a 100 ante. There's an early position raise, 2,000 to go. I looked down at Queen Jack of Hearts. Happy to call here in middle position, and there's a late position call behind me. So 3 ways to a flop, which comes Queen Jack 9 with 2 clubs. The early position player checks. Definitely want to put in a bet here, so I make it 4K. The player behind me jams all in, but he doesn't have too much. He's only got about 11,000. What's interesting though is that the early position player calls. So not too sure what's going on there in that situation. I think he's going to have some combination of some drawing hands, some overpairs that are trying to pot control, and some traps. Maybe trying to bring me in and trap me. If he puts in a raise, he's going to fold out all worse hands. So interesting spot. I decided on a flat call, see what happens on the turn, and proceed from there. The turn is an offsuit 6, which is about as safe of a card as you could ask for. Early position player checks it over to me, and time to go for some more value here, try and deny some equity. I put out a bet of 18,000, and the early position player calls again, so pretty sizable pot brewing. River is another brick, offsuit 5, checks over to me, and I just decide to check it down here. I'm pretty sure I should have the best hand here, but just decided maybe play it a little bit cautious and check it back. Early position player shows ace-3 of clubs, so he was in fact drawing, and there was no more value to be found there anyway. I show my hand. Last position player shows king-jack, so we scooped this one with flop top 2. So that was pretty cool. We took a 100K stack into dinner break, came back, and the wheels fell off a little bit. Playing 600, 1200 with a 200 ante. There's an early position raise at 3,600. I call with 7s, and there's 2 calls behind me. So 4 ways to a flop this time. 10, 9, 7, all clubs. Bottom set here on a super wet board. Initial raiser checks, and I put out a bet of 7,400. 1 fold and 1 call behind me. So heads up to a turn card, which is the ace of clubs. Pretty bad card for us. I check it over to the late position player who puts out a bet. He bets 12K. Don't want to give up here, can improve to a full house, and maybe we have the best hand some percentage of the time. So I make the call, and we see an offsuit king on the river. Not the card we had in mind again, and I check it over to him, and he doesn't stop betting. He bets about 20,000 here. I don't think I have too much choice. I mean, he could have a busted straight draw and be turning that, using the flush cards as scare cards. But I don't think I have too much choice. I think I just have to let it go, and that's what I do. I decide on the fold, and we don't get to see a showdown. Shortly after that, in the same level, 600, 1200 with the 200 ante, button raises to 3K, and he's only got about 17 or 18,000 effective. Folds over to me in the big blind with pocket 9s. Should be ahead of his range here by a decent stretch, so I just go ahead and jam it in there. Don't want to see any tricky flops where I'm not too sure where I'm at, so I go ahead and jam. He says that he's let this stack dwindle as much as he wanted it to, and he just calls it off. Queen 10 off suit. He's gonna get there. He wins. Queen 10 is gonna crack the pocket 9s this time, come out ahead. And yeah, things not going so well. So end up whittling down to about 10 big blinds. I jam a couple ace high hands and don't get called, and eventually I find ace 7 of diamonds, jam that in there, and get called by king queen of clubs. The ace 7 holds up, so we do double up there, but blinds are growing, blinds are increasing. We're still in this thing, but down to under 20 big blinds now again. So tournaments, you know, on the tournament roller coaster. We'll see what happens. Gonna get back to it. Guys, it took a little bit of a suck out, but we managed to bag a healthy stack. And the very last hand of the night, down to about 17 big blinds. There's an early position open, folds to me in the big blind, and I look down at pocket 9s. Very last hand of the night, 17 big blinds. Just go with it. Just gonna have to go with it. I jam it in there, and the initial raiser goes into the tank for a while, and then he calls it off. And he shows us pocket 10s. So it wasn't looking too good there through the flop or the turn, but the beautiful river 9 takes us into day 2. And I managed to get a time lapse of the hand. But that is the hand that's going to take us into day 2 with 151,000 in chips. So coming back, we'll be right back in this room, 151,000, and that's something like, I think, 37 big blinds. So some run good there in the end to seal the deal into day 2. Gentlemen.
Yo, you were just...
Okay, gentlemen. I had a nice little suck out there, right? The very last hand of the night. 9s versus 10s.
Oh, stars nuts though.
Huh?
That's the poker stars nuts.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sure, so it's very easy.
That's cool. So yeah, I had bagged 151.
Shit. Because you had like 130, and then I looked over and you had like 20.
Yeah.
And then you went back to 150.
It was miserable.
Yeah, it's wild for a stretch there, but it worked out. It's awesome.
So you guys are both in, right?
Yeah.
Small stack. Oh, we're in.
Can double it up. All right, I'm gonna grab a beer and then back for day 2.
Yeah, come grab a beer with us.
How are you in Missouri? No. At least you get
Good morning, guys. It's Sunday, day 2 of the Run It Up Reno main event. About to get started here. As mentioned, 151,000 in chips. What else is there to say? Let's go. Let's get in there. Let's run good. How are we doing this, Matthew?
Andrew, what's up, man?
Are you ready?
Dude.
Ready
Yeah,
for day 2?
I got a stack for day 2.
10th in chips, I heard.
10th in chips.
10th in chips. 75K richer the other day.
Yeah, hopefully it's gonna be a good finish to the week.
Good luck, man.
You too, man.
Good luck, Trina.
Thanks, you too. Let's get it. I'm ready. Guys, we did it. We made the money, barely. Another tiny stack to take into the money, but we ran ace king into aces with like 2 to go before the money, and that crippled me. So I'm gonna go see what I can do with these like 5 big blinds that I have. Be right back. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Yet another min cash under our belt. Not too much I could do today. Like I said, I ran ace king and aces for the cripple, and sort of limped our way into the money after that. So happy to have cashed, and nothing
too much different that I could have done there at the end of the day. I can say that I definitely felt a lot more comfortable in this tournament. Lots of spots where I felt like I knew what I was supposed to do. And I've been trying to get my tournament study on a little bit here and there. Not a ton of hours of study, but a little bit. So felt a little stronger in that regard. And obviously when you play a tournament, you're not playing to min cash, but happy to have a small uptick in the direction towards that 100K mark, however small it may be. It's a step in the right direction. All right, check back soon with you guys.